Consistency. It's only a virtue if you're not a screw-up. Remember that, right? I chose to speak on consistency. I think consistency is such an important principle or attribute to have if you want to be successful in this life. And that's why that's why I wanted to speak on it, just because I feel so passionately about it. I have a friend that is just one of those freak guys that is just, how he is, I'm just like, who are you? He's the type of guy that he wakes up early in the morning every day, he studies every day, he budgets every day, he tracks his stocks every day, he works hard, he's consistently at work, he consistently spends time with his family, he consistently serves in the community. He's just one of those guys that's a pillar of consistency all the time. If he was to ever do anything, he's not a fly-by-the-seat-of-your-pants type of guy where if he was to say I was going to play the piano, I wouldn't think in 2 months I'm going to ask this guy, are you playing the piano? And he would say I'm not doing it anymore. He's the type of guy that whatever he does it well and he puts his mind to it and that's just what he does. He actually influenced me to join Toastmasters. I said, hey, I said, Tom, I'd like to become a better speaker and be more comfortable talking in front of people and just improve that skill. He said, you should join Toastmasters. He knew about it, had never been a member, but just had known vaguely about it. And he said, but only do it if you can consistently go. If it's something that you can commit yourself to. And I looked online to find a group. And I said, Tuesdays at noon, I can go. I can go every week. And as long as nothing, I'm not sick or something comes up, but consistently I can attend. And he said, if you consistently go, and you consistently speak, and you consistently be a part of the group, you'll get better. And I've seen so many instances in my life of just people, of good and bad examples of where people have been consistent and have been successful, or they haven't been consistent and they haven't been successful. Let me tell you a story. I have a brother-in-law that has always wanted to be someone that works out, and he's never put together a consistent plan to do it. And he came to me a couple months ago and said, Josh, how would you feel about joining CrossFit with me for a month? Maybe you know what CrossFit is. It's kind of the new trendy workout right now. And I said, and he's as cheap as they come too. And I said, you want to join CrossFit for a month, but you have no plan after the month's over to ever want to do CrossFit anymore because you know you don't want to spend $100 a month to do it. But there's a good deal on Groupon right now that you can spend $40 and get one month for $40. He says, well, I was thinking I was going to do it. And John, our other brother-in-law, he wants to do it too. And I said, it's just not a good plan. You're going to do it, you're going to be sore for a month, and then you're going to get done, and you're going to be no better off than where you are now. The better plan is to put together something that you can consistently always do and go. And he's done this many times, just different things, where he's put together a non-consistent plan. So he did it, him and my brother-in-law did it, my family kind of gave me grief about doing it, and they said, they'll do it, and a month from now, they'll have a habit of exercising now. Maybe they'll do something else. I said, that's just not how things work. I'm like, find something that you can be consistent at. So that can be applied to so many different things in our life. There's so many people that have been on diets that they're not something that you can do for the long term. So you do it for a few weeks, you do it for a month, and then it goes away and you're no better for it. Maybe you had a good experience for the month, but my message today is when you choose something that you can be consistent at for the long term. If you want to diet, find something that you can consistently do for the rest of your life or for however long it is. If you want to be in Toastmasters, find a group that, my example of that, or if you want whatever. You see so many people go through college that they take a class here and there, they never have a full plan to say, I'm going to do this in 4 years, or I'm going to do this in 6 years, or whatever their timetable is. Instead, they take a class here, they take a class there, and 8 years comes by and you ask them, where are you at in college? And they're like, oh, I got a year and a half still to go. And you see those stories all the time. Or if it's in sales, if someone's in sales and they want to sell, they got to consistently every day put together some point in their day at some certain time that they're going to make sales calls or whatever it is that you're doing. But I really do feel passionate about that. If you want to be successful at something, figure out a way to put together a consistent plan. If it's learning an instrument, figure out, don't play the piano if you don't have a piano in your house. If you're going to have to go to your neighbor's house, or your grandma's, or whoever, and you think you're going to be able to long-term do that, it's not a good plan. It's not going to work. So whatever you do, put together consistent plans, and you'll be successful. I think with practice and repetition, whatever you want to do, if you have passion about it and you want to do it, and you can put together a consistent plan, you'll be successful at it. Mr. Toastmaster.